you doing, Brother Craig? How you doing? Good morning, my neighbors!
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's hump day. Mike, Mike. Guess what day it is? Yo, welcome to More Than Motivation, your daily dose of inspiration and empowerment. I'm your host, Jamon, and I'm thrilled to have you join me this morning as we kickstart our day with positivity and purpose. So whether you're here to seek motivation or connect with like-minded individuals, or simply get your day started on the right foot, you've come to the right place. And on your way in, go ahead and hit that like button. Let me know you're here. Say hello. Also, if you know your boy be running on fumes, I said fumes. Hey man, you can buy me a cup of coffee. It's in the top of the chat, and also located in the QR code on the screen. Shout out to the Positive Self-Talk. This cup of coffee from you, I appreciate it.
How you doing, Brother Craig? How you doing?
How you doing, Brother Craig? Look who's up early and talking. Shout out to that chick, yo. The model of consistency. Auntie Canada, showing up. Appreciate you. Salute to the young gun D-Rob training. So, we have come to the end of our series, the DISC assessment. And I chose the DISC assessment out of the other ones because I just simply think it's the most accurate as far as a holistic perspective. Now you have your other ones, your strength finders, your dang, I always draw a blank on this one. Dang. I always draw a blank on it. It's one by Gallup, it's strength finders. It's another one where it's like EFJINT, or I can't think of the name of the company at the moment, but anyway. I think DISC is the best. It gives me the best perspective very quickly into all my relationships, and from an overall perspective. I know what jobs are best for me. I know what jobs to avoid. I know what kind of people to really associate with. But the thing is, knowing is half the battle. Hey, no worries, D-Rock. But knowing is half the battle. It's one thing to get the information. And it's another thing to apply the information. And I learned a few years ago that just because something makes sense to me, just because I feel a certain way about a situation, it doesn't mean that the other person, my supervisor, my coworker, my children, my spouse, it doesn't mean they're going to feel the same way. And generally, I think that's what the space that social media has taken. Because with social media, you can post something like really wild, something really positive, something, just sickening, and you'll find somebody that agrees with you. And then that's where the fan base comes from. It's where your subscribers come from, people who resonate with you on a certain level. But that's not always what happens in our relationships or in our job searches, right? We end up where we end up. We make commitments to jobs and to people, and we have to work in those relationships, knowing that no relationship is perfect. And if you hop out of one relationship and you go to another one, guess what? You might not have known this, but you're going to have very similar challenges in the next relationship. Sometimes you see it early, sometimes you catch it later on down the road. But knowing how to choose, it's a very good starting block. And then you make the commitment, and then you work out what you need to work out over time. Because over time, everything eventually clears up. Over time, if this right here, it's for the birds. This is not going to work. This thing is only pulling me down. But also, sometimes what started out, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling her, kind of feeling him. But then you spend a little bit more time with them, and you start seeing the rough patches. But then you find a way to get through those rough patches, and it starts to build stamina. It starts to build strength and endurance in the relationship. And then you find ways of communicating better. You find ways of doing all these things. This is why I'm saying knowing is half the battle. A lot of us get information and we think we got it. Think about for those of you who are into the astrology signs, like, oh, I'm a Sag, Sags. Oh, I dated a Sag girl one time, and let me tell you, I tried it again, but them Sags, man, yeah, that's the one thing we can't account for is because we're all individuals and we all come through life with a different perspective, a different lens that we see things through, different histories and backgrounds. And so our life experiences, although these assessment results are very true, there's things in our life that has informed us. It has changed the way we view the world. And so, yes, I may have characteristics of a Sag. I may have characteristics of a I or an S. But I also have characteristics of a D and characteristics of a C. Because all of those aspects are in us. This assessment just tells what are you most strong at. And so I want to start by asking a question today. Have you ever known somebody that certain things would just set them off, just blow them up? I mean, you get the Busta Rhymes, rah, rah, rah. You get all that going. But then 2 minutes later, something else happened, and they're like, oh, man, it's all good. Take it easy. I'm not worried about that. I'm not tripping on that. And that thing is bigger than the first thing. That's what we're going to talk about today. Understanding your partner's style better, understanding your style better, communications, tips, and connections. So shout out to my guy, D-Rob. He making inroads. See, Young Gun is making it happen out there. Shout out to the youngin'. Says season ended, and now coaches want me to help their team, help the other team. So now he's helping with the wrestling and girls flag football. See, bruh, I'm telling you, bruh. That's how you get known, man. You stay busy doing something that you enjoy doing. You're gonna get paid a little change to do it. You're building experience, you're building a network, you're building connections. Because a lot of times the people that we meet at that next level, when they transition to their next level, they say, hey, who can I depend on? Yeah, I'm calling D-Rob. I'm calling D-Rob. And then D-Rob is building up this experience over here. Your cup is getting more and more full. 10 years from now, you've coached this sport, that sport, you've done that. Bro, you're going to find yourself coaching Olympic athletes, coaching professionals. Yeah, man. Girls are always easier to coach than men. I found that to be true because, especially in sports, because women have a lot of ego, but their ego is bigger in other areas, which is what we're going to talk about today. Men, our whole ego is set around our masculinity, that dominance. And so it's a little bit more aggressive. A little bit more. But we chill on some other things. We're going to get into it. So first, let's do a recap just to make sure we're all on the same page. D in the DISC assessment, it stands for dominance. And the dominance personality style, you're dealing with somebody that's assertive, results oriented, and very direct. Assertive, results oriented, or very direct. The I stands for influence. The person with the influence personality style tends to be very sociable, enthusiastic, and more people focused or people centered. They said they listen and don't complain about anything, unlike the boys. Yeah, man. I coached wrestling, middle school wrestling, and it was two girls that came out to try it out. And I tell you, they just soaked it up. They just went out there. They couldn't do at the middle school level. They weren't as effective or as strong wrestling the guys, and they weren't aggressive, but they listened so much better, and they actually technically were better wrestlers. The guys were always complaining, so bruh, trust me. I know. I get you, bruh. The S. Go ahead and drop your question, bro. I'm just going through this recap. The S is, I said influential. They're sociable, they're enthusiastic, and they're people-focused. The S is for steadiness. Patient, supportive, and consistent. Patient, supportive, and consistent. That's what the S is. The C is they're very analytical, detail-oriented, and focused on accuracy. Once again, the conscientious personality style, they're analytical, they're detail-oriented, and focused on accuracy. So that's what we've talked about the last 2 weeks, those 4 personality types. And so how do you recognize what style your partner is? Recognizing your partner's personality style, because you go from style to style depending on the situation. As a mother, for example, when it comes to your children, when it comes to your spouse, you may be that C, that conscientiousness. And you have to be detail oriented. You have to be analytical. And you need accurate information, right? But in your work life or around your friends, you don't put that hat on. You don't need to be in that space as much. So Let's talk about dominance first. How do you know if you have a partner that has a dominant personality style? Does anybody have an answer for that? How do you know your partner has a dominant personality style? Matter of fact, I'm gonna put the strengths up back on the screen. Dominance personality style. Boom. So the strengths, direct and decisive, they're goal focused, they're high energy, right? I'm gonna comment on that in a minute, D-Rob. Um, how do you recognize it in your partner, though? They might speak in short, direct phrases, and they prioritize results. Did you do what I told you to do? Why not? Hey, you got 30 minutes and I'll be back. It need to be done. Yes, I know I sound like I'm talking to a child. But somebody with a dominant personality style will talk like that not only to their child, but to their partner, to friends, to coworkers. Now, the tone might be a little different, but it's going to be short and direct statements. So that's the telltale sign dealing with somebody having a partner that has that dominant lifestyle. When things are good, they might be laughing and say it, and you might find it cute. Oh, I love a man that can take charge. Oh, bro, she tell me what she want. I appreciate that, right? But when they're not in a good mood, it feel a little different. D-Rob a wild boy. But that's what it is. That direct and decisive, they want results. They're goal focused and that energy is high. So sometimes it can be sharp. It could bite a little bit. Even like my personality style on 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 this platform is totally different because I'm a high S and I'm a high I. Versus my man Kevin Samuels. I bet money that he was a high D, which is why his tone was so sharp. Some days he could be laid back, but some days he dropping them, and people couldn't stand him. But also here's some of the weaknesses: overly direct or abrasive. Yep. Impatient with slow progress. Difficulty delegating because they don't know how to talk to people. Balancing decisiveness with thoughtfulness. It's not what you say, it's how you say it, right? So that's how you recognize it in your partner. If they're short with you, and they team to have this extra energy out of nowhere, and it takes you aback a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You didn't realize they were in a mood. And so now it's coming out really sharp. It's coming out really harsh. And they don't care what happened. They care about the results. So okay, my partner is definitely has this dominant personality style. I see that more than I see anything else. Excuse me. Before we get into influence, let me read this D-Rob question. She said, had this girl out here, and all the coaches went to this little bar after the game. It was pretty late, but still extended the invite. She declined due to being up early and working, which is cool with me, but people around me say if she wants to support or be a part of your coaching life, she better get used to it or she don't belong. So I'm assuming this is advice they're giving you. Why old girl didn't come, right? So I got mad. I'm like, wait, so she not meant for me because she had a long day? Bruh, you got to think about it, bro. You are in a coaching is a ego driven professional. So most of the people in that profession, they're probably going to have a higher level of dominance in their persona. And some guys, if they extend, just like some guys say, hey, sweetheart, what's your name? Excuse me, sir, I'm married. I'm in a relationship. Well, bump you then, right? Because they wanted that answer. It ain't, oh, my bad, sweetheart. My bad. No disrespect. It's that aggressive, short comebacks. That's more of what the defensive dominant style is. And so you run a lot of guys that way, and so they see it as like, you know what, hey, bro, it's more fish in the sea, bro. If she can't participate, then you know what I'm saying, keep moving. This is why it's important to know what your style is, so you can know when you're getting advice, who you getting it from. Because when you learn yours, you recognize that they're not speaking your language, and you can take things with a grain of salt easier. Yeah. I don't think nothing was wrong with that. But then again, that's not my main strength. That's not my main style. My main style is steadiness. I'm consistent. I'm calm. I'm very patient. I understand stuff happens, and I'm a high eye. So I'm gonna check in. I'm gonna make sure you good. I ain't gonna play a lot of games with you. However, you know what I'm saying, I understand things happen. But if it becomes a pattern, then nah, sure, I'm gonna cut ties. Now my dominance comes in now, like, nah, you ain't gonna play in my face. But anyway, so that's a great example, D. Great question. And so influence and the influence personality style. Look for somebody like me. Animated gestures, open body language, and a preference for storytelling. That's me all day. I know my children absolutely hate to ask me questions sometimes because they know it's not going to be a simple yes or a simple no. It'll be like, well, let me ask you a question. What is so appealing to you with that? Why do you want to do that? Okay, because I remember, I was 18. I was 24. I've been 24, but you ain't never been my age. And I remember back when, and then the story goes on. And 20 minutes later, they finally waking up and getting their answer. So if you meet a person that is super, they always got a story for you. They always high energy. Well, I ain't gonna say high energy, but it's a lot of gesturing, a lot of open body language. They're always ready for the conversation. They've never met a stranger. That person is probably of that influential style. Strengths, they're natural communicators. They're encouraging and supportive, adaptable, and open to change. Like I said, I believe what I believe, and I'm going to stand on it 100%. However, I know I can be wrong. I know I don't know it all, but what I know, I'm pretty confident in. So I will listen to your argument. And if it makes sense, I will accept what you're saying, not as truth, but I will accept what you're saying that is true for you. Shout out to Walter Glover. For sure. And then I will do my research and I will come to my own conclusion. and then I will decide what's the best move to make or what the new belief system is. But let's look at also some of these weaknesses. Difficulty focusing on details. Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Oh, I trust you. I'm gonna trust you to be who you are. I'm gonna trust you to be who you are. So I'm gonna take my time because I'm an S2. I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna learn you. I'm gonna make you feel comfortable to be around me. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna have some great conversations. I'm gonna figure out what you like. We're gonna go do what you like. And I wanna see you in your natural element. I ain't trying to argue. I ain't trying to fight. Brick by brick. What up, homie? Good to have you back in the building. And so I start identifying more heavily with the influential style because that is natural for me. So I recognize those people who are of the same personality style. But I also recognize very quickly that person that's that dominant style. And so we're going to talk about triggers here in a minute. We're going to talk about some triggers and some better communication tips. But the third, the S, the steadiness personality style, I think, okay, there it is. Let's do that, another little recap on them. Somebody with wait, that ain't right. Why didn't you pull up? Let's try it again. Thank you. All right. Somebody with the steadiness personality style, they're consistent and reliable. They have a supportive nature, empathy, and listening skills. Their weaknesses, sometimes they can be they'll avoid conflict at all costs. They'll walk away. When you have a partner and y'all trying to have a conversation and they go silent on you, it's like they don't, I'm asking you a question, then they just like, bruh, woo, look at the time. I'm gonna go take a ride somewhere. They'll never want to talk about the situation. They probably are in their steadiness style. When you bring new ideas to them and they resist the change, you know how many people will come across this stream and they will hear the information, but because they're strong S, the information sounds good, it makes sense, but they don't want to change. They don't want to change. Who are you to tell me that I need to do something different? But then if you ask them to do something, guess what they're going to do? They're going to do it. They're going to do it because they're the ultimate team player. And so people with the high S personality style, they don't make friends easily because they know that a friend, somebody that they really ride for, if they pick the wrong one, they're going to abuse them. They're going to suck up their time. They're going to take advantage of them. Or not they will, but they could. And then they're going to go from, hey, kumbaya, let's get it, to rah, rah, like a dungeon dragon. Because then their dominance is going to come out when they start feeling abused. And they also struggle with balance and support with self-care. They're so busy taking care of other people that they don't take care of themselves. Mothers do this a lot. Fathers do this a lot. One partner may be so busy focused on the needs of another partner because they may have more needs. I hate to use the word needy, but they may have more needs. And so you get a little burned out with them, always attending to what they need, always making sure they got what they're supposed to have, always make sure where they need to be. This is why stay-at-home moms get so burnt out and they don't take care of themselves as much because they're so busy making sure the house is running the way it should run. and the C style, the conscientiousness style. This style is, for me, it is the most difficult to activate. It's difficult for me to move into their style because somebody with that conscientious style, they are very precise. They're very detail oriented. They're careful with words. Just like, when I use the word, let me say it right, vigilant, I say vigilant. Just comes out wrong. I know what I'm saying in my head, but I'm like, you know what I meant. But somebody with a higher C, oh man, they'll be on themselves. They'll go write it 50 times on the board, make sure they got it right. I mean, they're very precise. The details matter. And for me, details matter, but do they really? Because I'm big picture. I see the end goal. That's where I want to go. I'll create my little stepping stones, my steps to get where I'm trying to go. But I'm not down in the weeds. I'm not down in the mud with those steps. Conscientious. Did I put that on screen? I don't think I did. Let's go with it real quick. All right. Attention to detail, logical decision making, commitment to quality, right? Some of those weaknesses, though, just blind spots. A tendency to overanalyze. I got a homeboy. We used to play football together, and one of our teammates said, "Hey, bro, don't get stuck on stupid." And I looked at him, I'm like, what? He's like, he's so busy thinking about what could go wrong. He's so busy thinking about what should happen here and there that he ain't making no decision. He getting sacked because he keep holding the ball. He's overanalyzing. He's not picking a read and going with it. He's not going through his progressions because he's so busy looking at the pre-snap read that he's not making the right decision. He's overanalyzing. Struggles with ambiguity, meaning they need some clarity. Don't just say it's going to be okay. How, my G? How is it going to be okay? Difficulty delegating, balancing perfectionism with productivity. These are some of the weaknesses of that person that's in that C. So if you're in a relationship with a person and they want and this is guys, this is going to be a lot of your ladies. They want to know all the tea, all the details. That's why it's called tea now, because they want to sit back and sip slow and enjoy it. They want all the good information. But as I stated earlier, none of these are absolute. Nobody has them all. Knowing is truly half the battle. Knowing is truly half the battle. And so start watching for these traits as you go through your life. At your partner, look at your partner. Look at what sets them off. Look at their strengths. Look at their weaknesses. If you need to rewind this show to kind of get a quick sneak peek of what style was what, please do. I'm trying to make it a little bit more concise so you can do that. Communication tips. When you're trying to communicate, what are some of the best approaches to have when dealing with these personality styles? So, you know what? Yeah. While we're talking about communication, we can also talk about triggers. Because y'all know it's not hard to set somebody off sometimes. Some people, you set them off just like that. Other people's, you got to work to set them off. Like me, you got to really work to set me off. If I'm set off, it's because I got a lot of things happening in my life. Excuse me. And I'm doing stuff here. I'm doing stuff there. I got a bunch of stressors, and now you want to come playing. You want to come playing now. You're gonna see a side of me that you didn't know was there. However, if everything is average, I have a high pain threshold. I have a high tolerance for most stuff until I don't. until I don't. But I think most people, well, I think there are some people who can relate to that. So best approaches to dealing with somebody who is of a dominant personality style. The best approach is to be direct and to be concise. Know what you want and know how you want it done. Know what you want. Okay, I got you. Because now you just gave them all the information they need. You gave them the mission and you gave them the results that they need to have. And you didn't talk them to death. You was direct with them. You focused on the outcomes rather than the details. You focused on the outcomes rather than the details. You didn't get them in the mud and then talk to them for 30 minutes when you could have had the conversation in 2. That's the best approach. But what to avoid? Long explanations. A person with a high dominance personality style, they don't want to be talked to death. They don't want the over emotional responses. And they don't want you to take their control away. i.e., telling them what to do. You can't tell them what to do, man. You got to tell them what you want. You got to tell them the results that you want to have. And you got to go give them the marching order to go do it. Do it the best way you think is right. This is what good leadership is. Understanding the people that work for you. Understanding the people that are around you. And what motivates them and what triggers them. For the influence personality style, for that partner, some of the best approaches is engage in conversation. How was your day? Did anything good happen today? Anything out of the ordinary happen today? Be positive. Show interest in their stories. Oh, wow, that was an interesting story. This is a guy that I work with, and he'll come to my office, and he'll talk, and he'll talk, and he'll talk. And the other people in the office, I can tell their faces because he's a person that talks a lot. And it doesn't bother me because I'm an S and I'm an I. And so I'll be like, hey, you can't hijack my day. I got work to do. But if you don't mind me not looking up at you while I work, but I can listen, then let's talk. And he said, okay, that's fine with me. So he'll start talking and I'll start working. And I'll hear him and, he's just rambling most of the time. But then he'll start telling a story that kind of perks my ears up a little bit. And then I'll slow my typing down. And then I'll look at him and I'll chime in for a second. And, okay, story over. I go back to my work. Yep. This guy, his personality style, he is definitely an I, a high I. He might be a higher I than, anybody that I know. Yeah, anybody that I know. So I get him. I understand him. He's not a bother to me. However, if you want to communicate with this high I person, you can't criticize them in front of others. Now, I think that's a lot of styles, but it especially will set off a high personality. If you criticize them in front of others, if you ignore their ideas and being overly serious. A person that has a high I, they take a lot more. They don't take life as serious. So if you come over serious, over criticizing them, and not giving them anything on their ideas, degrading their ideas, you're going to have a lot of problems with that particular person. It's not going to go well. Steadiness, the S partner. Best approaches for somebody that's an S is 1, offer reassurance, be patient with them, and provide some stability. I feel you, bro. I feel you. Offer reassurance, be patient, and provide stability. Be who you say you are. Stability. Don't be all over the place. I need to know how best to support you. My patience will only go so far. So I need to see some consistency in there. Avoid pressuring them to make quick decisions. If you come at them at the last minute and say, hey, we got to change this and do that, the instant rebellion is going to activate inside of them. And they're going to get an attitude and they're going to drag their feet. And they're going to go from the person that you knew had your back to the person that seemed to be a weight now. They're holding you down. You was doing too much. You brought these fast changes up in here. And you came in confrontational. Don't come to me with that attitude, bro. I ain't did nothing to you. So we working or we not. So you see that the dominance starting to come out now, right? So I flow my S, my I, my D. My S is highest, my I is next, my D is there, and then my C just fell off the map. So I go from team player to motivator to alpha. And I mean stereotypical alpha. Just depends on what the need is. I fluctuate in between them. But that conscientious person, the best approach is be clear. Use logic. Make it make sense. How, Sway? Make it make sense. And show attention to detail. When you see somebody and you see a guy that's going out and he got the chains on, he got the nice watch on his wrist, he got a couple of different rings on his fingers, he got the red bottom hat and the shoes to match. This person is probably very detail oriented. When you see a woman and the makeup is flawless, the hair is flawless, every time you see them, it's Sunday morning at 7 a.m. and she going to the store to grab some milk and some eggs. She ain't got no bonnet on. Her hair is nice. Her face is done. And her clothing, they may be sweatpants or they may be tights, but they're nice, they're clean, and she got a nice hoodie or shirt on to go with it. And the shoes are nice. High C. High C. You will never catch a person in a C out in the bonnet, female-wise, unless you caught them at the house and they just woke up and you at their front door. Maybe then. But if they given the choice and they leaving the house, no. No. It's not going to happen. Meanwhile, you see other women, they outside and they pajamas, they bonnet. They ain't brushed their teeth. I'm just going to get some milk and eggs. They ain't got no bra on and they triple Fs. And you ask yourself, what is wrong with people? Just the personality style. Just the personality style. All right, so what are some triggers? What are some triggers? Triggers for that dominant personality style. Being told what to do. I already said it. If you try to tell somebody that has a real dominant personality style what to do, they're going to take instant offense because they think they can do it better than anybody anyway. They trust them more than they trust anybody else. They're not going to let them down. And if they get a word, they're going to stick to it. So they get offended when you tell them what to do sometimes. Constant delays. Auntie Canada said, you will never see me in a bonnet outside. Nor PJs. Nah, not happening. But you see some people, it don't bother them. And I don't think it's because I think some of it is culture. But I know a lot of people that came from the bottom. And when they left home, I know dudes that left home in dress pants, dress shoes, and button-down shirts. Or full suits, or sweater vests and bow ties. They always, and they was from the bottom. But when they left the house, they was crispy. They were crispy because their dominant style would not let them not be detail oriented. So even if they didn't have much, even if they had a little chain, even if it was a fake chain, they made sure they got some clear fingernail polish and they polished that chain so it wouldn't turn as fast. And they would look at it every day just to make sure it ain't turning green on their neck because they don't want to be clowned. D-Rob said she in a bonnet and a big t-shirt indoors. Bon appetit, my guy. Bon appetit. If you are in a relationship with a person that has a dominant personality, here's a couple of solutions to that. Respect their need for autonomy. Respect their individualism. Respect who they are. Set clear expectations for the relationship, for you, for how you want to be treated. Because just because they have a dominant personality don't mean they're right. You can tell them, hey, that tone I don't appreciate. So when you talk to me, can you do it in a way that's not as aggressive? Instead, can you come give me a hug and let me know that it's going to be cool? Instead of saying, it's good, baby. Brick by Brick say real talk. Oh, and focus on results because they are results-driven personality types. So with the wins are amazing. You just got to make sure y'all on the same path. Triggers for the high, the influence. Feeling ignored. I'm telling you all these good stories and you gonna ignore me? Oh, you act like you don't see me? I'm me. I'm me. Oh, you won't ignore me, right? Okay, all right. Lack of social interaction. Come on, bro. Let's go out, man. Hey, baby, let's go do this. Let's go do that. It's like that high eye. They need to be around other people. They need to get other energies from people. I knew a guy one time. He was married. He was a faithful guy. He wasn't out here running these streets. But his wife, she just wasn't like, she wasn't with it, you know what I'm saying, with a lot of stuff that he wanted to do. So he would stop by, and this is when I was in the military. He would stop by in Fayetteville time. It was Magic City. Not the Magic City from Atlanta. It was a bootleg version of that, but it was still quality shoe models there. So he would stop by there and for just lunch on 30 minutes. He go in 30 minutes, get some different energy. Then he'll go to work, great day. Or on the way home, he'll pull in there, catch the late shift, go home with a different energy. Because he was a high eye, he needed that other energy. He wasn't in there spending a bunch of money. He wasn't there trying to pull nobody up out of there. He just needed that socialization, that energy. He needed to feel like somebody was paying attention to him. And fellas, if you need somebody to pay attention to you, you can definitely get it there. Not that I know from personal experience, but I read about it in a book and a friend told me. I mean, think about it. What do they model? Shoes, right? That's the thing that, they'll put them in the air. They'll turn them side to side. They'll let you see if they're red bottoms or not. You can see the straps on the top of them. I mean, they modeling shoes. I mean, that's how I've always seen it. Maybe it's why I always had a thing for models because, models pay attention to detail. They're very meticulous. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Solutions to engage the people that are high eye. You got to engage them openly. You got to offer them praise about their story, about whatever. Give them feedback, basically. They need feedback. They need positive feedback. and never berate them in public. I told y'all, man, when I was in sixth grade, and my teacher took that stopwatch from me, and she said, I'm gonna call your mama. And my mama said, you better not go to school there and show your butt, or I'm gonna come up there. And I showed out. My mom was coming to the school, and I'm just like, man, if she hit me in front of my friends, what I'm gonna do? The average kid would have been like, oh man, my mom's coming, but she gonna embarrass me in front of everybody. Don't embarrass me in public. I tell my sons this: if Mama P, when I was in high school, if Mama P, because I seen this clip online, my son sent it to me because of what I used to tell him, of these moms putting on helmets and shoulder pads, going out there with their kids that's in like Pee Wee League. They're like 9, 10, 11 years old. And this one little boy clocked his mama. Bow! And she hit the ground and she got up. I said, bruh, if Mama P had to put on a helmet and some shoulder pads and got out there lined up with me, hey, bruh, my mama ain't about to embarrass me out here. Mama P not getting up without a concussion. I'm sorry. I'll apologize later. Oh, yeah. Don't embarrass me in public, man. Don't do that. You gonna make me do some stuff I'm gonna regret. I can't, look, I don't know what it is, man, but it's real. All right. Running out of time. Steadiness. Triggers for that steady person. Somebody that's steady don't want rapid changes. If things are going a certain way, you got to bring changes to them a little slower. You got to allow them time to adjust. Just like when you go to a faucet. When you cut it on, it's going to be cold. I'm telling you, Mama P would have got her with a concussion. Or they'd been bringing the ambulance out. They can't embarrass me in public, man. I don't know. I just like, it's something in me that just like, I'm adverse to that. It's just like, whoo. Yeah, I get chills thinking about it. That's why if I'm with a chick and look, if I see you act out on people in public, I'm questioning our whole relationship. Because if that's me, what am I going to do? I don't know. And I am a person that can go into extremes. So I don't know. So to protect you and me, I'm going to dead this right now. If I do that to my mama on the football field, bruh, I'm just saying. But anyway, S, rapid changes, unexpected demands. I'm going about my day. I got my day lined up. I'm making progress, and then, hey, you come with some demand. Hey, could you go run and do this real quick? No, bitch. I'm sorry, did I say it out loud? But that's how it is. Don't be hitting me with this last minute change. I'm already set. I got marching orders for the day. This is what I'm doing. And especially if I'm doing something for you, then you gonna come throw some monkey wrench in my plans at the last minute? Man, look, hey, don't push me because I'm close to the edge. My bad, y'all. Y'all see it get personal for me though, right? Just like, and I'm still, yeah, I'm still looking like, you see, yeah. Shout out to that chick, yo, bro. She get me. Solutions. You gotta provide reassurances. Allow time for adjustment and approach change gradually. Come on, baby. I don't want to hit the sack easy. Tease me. Ain't that what Pac said? Yeah. Gotta tease me a little bit. Just slow roll this thing. Don't tell me, baby, when you get home, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. And then I show when you got a third person in there. What is we doing? I mean, you can give me no warning? I mean, I ain't complaining, but wait till I get done. Come here, girl. Anyway, y'all got me. Y'all take me to the next level now. All right. That's C style. Triggers for that conscientiousness. You know, I told you they lack ambiguity. They don't like not having structure. They don't like being forced into rush decisions. They need to do their research first. They need to go make sure that the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. It's a must for them. And if you are not giving them their time, you're triggering them. You're trying to make them go faster than they want to go. Boy, it's not going to be perfect. Just come on. You pissing them off minute by minute. Every other word you say, you pissing them off totally. Because they're detail oriented. The words matter. Girl, you know what I meant. No, I know what you said. Yeah, I done heard that before, I'm sure. So if you want to communicate better with this person, then you got to offer clear information. You got to respect their need for details, and you got to give them time to analyze. I mean, it don't get no more simple than that. If you want to communicate better, if you want to avoid those triggers and have peace in your relationship, those are the things that you need to do. And so as we getting ready to get up out of here, man, I got to ride out with the young gun this morning. We got to go take his car to get some service done to it. You can build stronger relationships using this DISC model. And it's one of the things that I do. It's how I evaluate a lot of my relationships, personal, professional, family. It's how it helps me relate better to people. But I understand that knowing truly is half the battle, and that just because I am a high I or a high S or a high D or a high C, this other person may not be exactly like me, because we're all individual. We are different. So I use this to help with misunderstandings. When me and my wife, we have a misunderstanding about something, and we have a heated moment. Then I have to literally go back and ask myself, okay, what did we just argue about? What are we upset about? Oh, what's her personality style again? Oh, and I'll say, oh, what's her sign? So she's a high D. She also a higher C, and she's also a Cancer. So that just told me a whole lot of information right there. Now I'm understanding a few things that I didn't understand before. Maybe I shouldn't have came at her that way. Maybe I should have said it like this. Oh, I kind of belittled the details on that. I told her the details didn't matter. Basically, what she heard me say was she didn't matter. Okay, so I got to go back. I got to fix that. And that's a lot of thinking, but the more familiar you get with it, it's literally 5 seconds. As you walking up the stairs or you walking out the front door, those thoughts pop in your head. But you have to get familiar with them. You got to understand them. Yeah. Using this DISC assessment has helped me in all my relationships. And so that's why I didn't really do a lot of the other ones, because I've done them, but I rock with the DISC assessment. It just makes more sense to me, and it's actually helped me improve my relationships in my life, understanding the people around me. But understand that it's also a very flexible thing. It's not spot on every time. It's flexible because we can go from dominance to influential to steadiness to contentiousness very quickly, very easily, depending on the need. So you can't pigeonhole somebody and say they're this. You can't say, oh, because this person is a Leo, oh, I don't trust those Leos. All Leos aren't built the same. All Leos have a differing personality style, even though they have some common traits. They have a different personality style, they differ in perspective and life experiences. So you have to take each person as a case-by-case study. And so knowing your partner style in particular will help you have better relations. So if you haven't taken this DISC assessment, it's literally the whole first 3 pages on Google is a free assessment. Some might be better than others as far as how you read and understand it, but they're all going to give you basically the same outcomes and basically the same results. So I advise you to go ahead and do it. Got a long weekend. I'm working. I got a long weekend, so I'm working. So there will not be a show on Friday, but we'll come back on Monday with a new topic. I would say I'm gonna put something in the Facebook group, but y'all know your boy be lying about that. I don't be meaning to, but I'm just getting back into social media, and so it's been a slow process. Understanding, I'm not building social media for my personal benefit anymore. I'm building social media because I want to put a message out there. I want to put things out there that help people become the best versions of themselves. And so I'm not as motivated to do it for myself because I don't want people to know what I'm doing every minute of the day when I'm on vacation, because deep down, I am a very private person. And I do have moments where I need to be around people. I need different energies. I do have moments when I want to go and talk and entertain. And I have moments when I don't want to be bothered. I want to just be at home on the couch. There's been days where I didn't leave the house for 5 days. I ain't go to the store. I wouldn't go shopping on Sunday, and I ain't leave the house again until Saturday. I'm cool with that. But then I got to go do something. Understanding my style lets me know that I am worthy. I'm okay. Nothing's wrong with me. Nothing's wrong with you. Why people don't see it is because they don't see it. They don't see themselves. And if a person can't love themselves, how can they ever truly know what love is and love you? Because you have to be able to take care of yourself first before you can truly take care of anybody else, at least effectively and long term. So, with that being said, we're going to get up out of here. But shout out to my guy Brick by Brick for coming back in the building today. Shout out to Craig G, D Rob, Auntie Canada, and of course, last but not least, that chick Yo. Appreciate you all, and hope y'all guys have a happy hump day. Go downhill, finish stronger than you started. This is Jamon, and we'll see you on Monday for another episode of Morning Motivation. And I will talk to you then. Y'all be blessed. Have a great weekend. Peace.